Sattvagun Bhakti. It is described there. So, there, the Tamagun Bhakti is one who is proud of his personality, envious of others. Here Gurudev is saying, rather one should have great love for those devotees and give up the idea that I am a virtuous devotee of the Lord, fully conversant in all devotional truths and not inferior to the residents of Braj in any respect. One should give up the pride by which one thinks this. This kind of conception, this kind of speech is Tamagun Bhakta. That I am very virtuous devotee. I am a superior devotee. And this is out of envy of other great devotees. And therefore one will become angry. This is another point that is made in this verse and by Prabhupada. There will be anger and offensive language against the other persons. So this is Tamagun Bhakti. Pride of personality, enviousness, anger, violence. Violence comes in mental and verbal offenses to others. Do you understand? So this is Tamagun. In Rajagun Bhakti, what is Rajagun Bhakti? Those who perform bhakti for name, fame, profit, distinction. So this is Rajagun Bhakti. So if you are performing bhakti so that a person, yes, oh, you are very great. Your temples are great. Here's more money for you. So this is Rajagun. Then Sattvagun Bhakti is when one performs the activities and then offers the fruit to Krishna. So this means he has not taken complete shelter of Krishna. He has not accepted Gopchukta Varana. He is not executing the 9 limbs of bhakti with the mood of being completely under the shelter of Krishna. Therefore, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says that it will not be effective. It will be mixed karma mishra bhakti. Prabhupada explains this also in the purport, because there will be some inebriety, some desire for something for yourself. So then in the purport to the 10th verse, he gives a description that there are 9 processes of bhakti and 3 modes of nature. And those 3 modes of nature times 9 processes is 27. And times 27 times 3 again. What does that 3 again mean? 3 modes times 9 is 27. Then 3 times 27 is 81. What does that second 3 mean? Because it is not a pure Tamagun. You will be in Tamagun, hearing, Shravan. Each 9 processes has 3 modes, Tama, Raja and Sattva. But it is not always just pure Tama. There is hearing in Tama, then there is hearing in Tama mixed with Raja. Then there is hearing in Tama mixed with Sattva. Then there is hearing in Rajagun. And Rajagun mixed with Tamagun. And hearing with Rajagun mixed with Sattvagun. Then there is hearing in Sattvagun. Hearing in Sattvagun mixed with Rajagun. Hearing in Sattvagun mixed with Tamagun. So in this way there's 9 kinds of modes of nature of hearing. And 9 kinds of modes of nature of chanting. And 9 kinds of modes of nature of praying. So 9 times 9 is 81. So probably there's 81 different kinds of bhakti performed under the influence of modes of nature. 81. And one must remove all of this form, or none of these forms. If you have 81 million people performing 81 forms of contaminated bhakti, then all of these people together do not equal a speck of dust on the foot of sadhu. Not to speak of 40 proud Americans. Can you understand this? Very important. But besides this pride, there is other pride. Oh, yes. These Americans, they are very intelligent, they are very wealthy, they are speak very well, all these things. But they have not been born in Bengal. We are Bengali Vaishnavas. They are born in Dham, yes, they are very advanced devotee. Next birth, they will become Bengali. Then they can enter Jagannath temple and see Jagannath. Huh? This also is there, isn't it? This is also pride. Huh? When Shri Gurudev wanted the son of my godbrothers, I had two godbrothers, one son, Damodara. You know Damodara, Prabhu? He's Chitra Maharaj's assistant. So he is born in Vaishnava family. Whole life he followed Vaishnava principles. So he had very good inclination for do puja. So Gurudev wanted him to go on the altar in Mathura and do puja. He wanted to be trained for that. So the Bengali devotee comes. He is not born in the Bengal, he is not a private Bengali Vaishnava, you cannot do this, you cannot. So Gurudev said, all of you, before you came here, you are eating fish? Huh? Eating fish? He hasn't ever eaten fish. He hasn't ever drunk tea. You ever drunk tea before? He never drank any tea. He never did any of these things. So who is a better devotee? You or him? Who has a more qualification for going on the altar? You or him? You think that because your body is brown, you can go and he cannot go? So Gurudev, he made them to understand. It is by guna, not karma, guna janma. Guru Krishna says, Chatur Vida Bhajante Mam Guna Karma, by the quality of the karma, the work, and the consciousness. It is not by janma, by birth. So if we have this birth consciousness, that I am American Bhakta, I am Prabhupada disciple, I am more than you, well, then this is a Maya. I am Bengali Vaishnava, I am more than you, well, this is a Maya. This is Tamagun, Rajagun, this is not proper Bhakta, this is not Bhakti. This is contaminated Bhakti, contaminated by modes of nature. So we should know this thing. It is not about the birth, it is about the consciousness. It is about the soul. What is the consciousness of the soul? What is the behavior? We should see this thing, and we should not see other things. Very important. So Gurudev is making this point. You should develop affection for residents of Braj who have this mood of worshipping Radha Krishna Yugul Kishore, who are Uttam Bhagavats, who are residents of Braj in their hearts, their bodies, and their minds. In every way, they are real residents of Braj. Gurudev is such a resident of Braj. Always he was such a resident of Braj. So, for some persons to think, oh, we are virtuous devotees. We know. Together we are more than Narayan Maharaj. This is Tamagun and Rajagun Bhakti, very low class consciousness. Therefore Gurudev was trying to help them. See how merciful he was. He never spoke in any angry words. Just he told, you should give up this pride. You should have great affection for those who are Braja Bhaktas. This will be in your best interest. Then next is Sujana. Gaudyia means residents of Braj, and Sujana. Sujana means Vaishnavas. Sujanas are devotees who belong to the four Vaishnava Sampradayas, or their corollary branches, but do not live in Braj in the true sense. This means that although they may physically take up residence in Braj, they do not serve Sri Radha Krishna Yugal with spontaneous attachment in the mood characteristic of Braj. One should not look down upon them, but have a respectful attitude towards them. They are intermediate devotees, Madhyam Bhagavat. So here is talking about those persons who come from different sampradayas. There was one book that Gurudev had written in Hindi. So then no one was available to do the editing for some reason. They were telling me no one was available to do the editing. So they asked this one guy who used to come and visit the temple a lot, Indian devotee, from Nityananda Sampradaya. So they asked him, could you review this and do the editing and like this? So he was looking, then he was telling all the other people in the month, hey, look at all this discussion about Radha and Krishna's Leela. They're having all this pastime, amazing things. So then the other devotee goes, no, this is some dreams that the Goswamis had. They had some dreams, some imagination, and they made some books from that and that. So these persons, they are devotees. They are worshipping Narayan, they are worshipping Radha and Krishna, but not in the same mood. Not in this mood of Braj-rasi, spontaneous attachment to Radha Krishna Yugal Kishore. Because they have not received bhakti from a Braj-rasi Uttam Adhikari, so the seed of spontaneous bhakti, this Braj-rasi spontaneous love is not there. So they can only come to a certain height of bhakti. You understand? And they will have some Aishwarya for Radha and Krishna, thinking them to be like Lakshmi Narayan in this mood. But we should not disrespect them. Gurudev said they are intermediate devotees and we should have respectful attitude towards them. Very important to be very respectful toward all such devotees. Bhusuragan, the Brahmins. Brahmins who follow Daiva Varnashram, the Vedic system of social duty related to the advancement in devotional life, and who are teachers of the Vaishnava way of life, are known as Bhusuras, lords of the earth. They are inferior devotees, Kanishka Bhagavats. But one should show affection to them also. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 64th chapter, verse 41, within the context of the narration of King Nriga, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna informs the residents of Dwarka, Vipram Grijagatam Mapi